2026 will have roller coasters big and small opening up across the globe. Per the roller coaster database, there will be roughly 176 roller coasters opening this year. This is highlighted by the world's first Giga dive machine, 2 single rail coasters, and some wild launch coasters from a wide range of manufacturers. In this video, I will rank my most anticipated coasters opening in 2026. This list will only include coasters that have been formally announced for 2026, and/or a majority of the layout has already been erected. That is why you will not see rides like the Intamin Blitz coming to China's Moku Sphere. I also will not be including any mountain coasters. It is too hard to discern how good they'll be without any renderings. Starting off the list at number 25 is Kaktosari Niami. This is a Vekoma family coaster alongside the water. It should offer some lovely views. Then the layout looks similar to Yeti Trek at Santa's Village. If so, this ride should offer a flowy layout with some light G's on the turns. Number 24, Cornwall Coaster at Hansa Park. This is a Gerstlauer family coaster that creatively uses switch tracks and a spike. I don't expect much power, but it will result in a confusing layout with 6 different launches. It is shaping out to be a bigger version of Firlefrans at Bayern Park, and this version at Hansa Park will likely have some nice theming given their recent history. Number 23, Flying Fox at Kentucky Kingdom. This Vekoma suspended family coaster will feature a custom layout. I suspect it'll ride like the other installations. It should be a glossy smooth experience with some decent power and a few turns. Number 22, Barracuda Strike at SeaWorld San Antonio. This is a family invert from Ballinger and Mabillard. I love how the first drop goes up to the pond. Then the following turns and helixes look quite compact, so they should exert some solid positive Gs. I suspect this ride may shake more than the prior ride, but it should still be tolerable, so I will take the added intensity. Number 21, Go Zimba at Serengeti Park. This is the prototype RES air loop. This essentially is a Gerstlauer Skyfly on a track. The layout itself looks mild, but it should be possible to get dozens of flips using the paddles on the train. This could make it the most disorienting ride in the list. Now this ride has been delayed 4 years due to restraint and technical issues, but it is finally expected to open this year. Number 20, Draken at Paulton's Park. This is the first of a few Gerstlauer Eurofighters. This one features the usual Beyond Vertical drop, which should offer great ejector air time, and there are 2 inversions that should offer decent hang time. The ride is on the shorter side, and I am worried it could be a bit rough. This rides over the shoulder restraints, so it could be possible to bash your head in the directional changes. Number 19, Titan at Walligator Pseudo-Est. I previously rode this Gerstlauer Eurofighter when it operated as Speed at Oakwood. The start has excellent ejector air time between the Beyond Vertical drop and Camelback. Then there are 2 inversions, a vertical loop with some positives, and a barrel roll with some hang time. This one tracked okay at Oakwood, but I am worried the vibrations could get worse when this ride is reassembled. Number 16, Kaobi Unshamed at Park Spirou. This is a Zamperla family launch coaster. This is the first ride of its kind, so I'm intrigued to see how it feels. I suspect it'll be smooth, but I am curious to see how strong the launches are and if there's any airtime or laterals. Either way, the layout looks fun, as it uses a switch track to offer both a forwards and backwards leg. Number 17, 100% Wolf at Plopsaland Deutschland. This is a Gerstlauer family coaster. This model usually offers some decent airtime and laterals relative to other rides like it. This one should offer some sweet visuals as well between the lakeside location and the giant wolf statue. And like the prior ride, this one also throws in a spike towards the end to send you in reverse. Number 16, Quantum Accelerator at Six Flags New England. This Intamin straddle coaster was delayed a year due to train issues, but it will finally open this weekend. While the stats are not too crazy, this should be a nicely paced ride. These straddle coasters have a great sense of speed anyway with guests in the motorbike position, but it should be extra true here because the whole layout hugs the ground. And I love how twisted the layout is. It'll take a lot of laps to memorize this one. Number 15, Ashara Goddess of Fire at Bond Luxury Theme Park. This will be just the second Vekoma switchback coaster. I suspect most elements will feel like Connect, but this ride's a major gimmick working in its favor. This ride uses a turntable to send riders down different paths, and this section looks like it'll have some impressive theming as a bonus. Number 14, Galactic Coaster at Legoland California and Legoland Florida. This is an Art Engineering indoor coaster. It looks similar to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, just on a smaller scale. It is an immersive indoor coaster with some space-themed visuals. While not overly fast, the darkened environment and spin should make it exciting. I have heard this coaster is short, but many say is the best Legoland coaster by far. Number 13, Mad Racers at Fantasy Valley. This GCI wood coaster is near a clone of Thunderbird at Powerland or American Thunder at Six Flags St. Louis. I think other GCIs offer superior pacing and power, but this ride still offers nearly a dozen airtime moments. There are some decent spots towards the start, but this ride can fizzle out towards the end if its running is slow. Number 12, Giant Revolution at Lotte World Busan. This is the first Zamperla double heart coaster, and I am interested to see how it compares to other compact coasters out there. It features multiple launches, some elevated elements with airtime, and 2 inversions. It is hard to say how powerful each element will be, but I am optimistic this ride could be a powerhouse. Number 11, Hot Wheels Twin Mill Racer at Mattel Adventure Park. Will 2026 finally be the year this ride opens? I hope so. We have been waiting over a decade for the second chance Hyper GTX. This ride will not focus on ejector airtime like Lightning Run. It instead will feature a launch and 4 inversions. I suspect the large loops will offer nice positive Gs, and the 2 corkscrews should be super whippy. Number 10, Palendrome at Codaland. This is yet another coaster that had been delayed for a few years, but it recently had its first riders. This Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster looks similar to Mystic at Walibi Rhone Alps, which I love. That ride has a nice mix of airtime and laterals, and the 2 inversions here look like they should offer some wild hang time, and because of the shuttle design, you experience them both forwards and backwards. Number 9, the Ginma Looper opening at J Castles. Ginma's newer coasters supposedly track well. Assuming that holds true, I am really intrigued by this looping coaster. It features 6 inversions. The dive drop and 2 barrel rolls should offer nice hang time. Then the remaining 3 loops should dish out positive Gs. This ride has a strong chance of becoming the best coaster in the Philippines upon opening. Number 8, the Ginma Launch coaster coming to Phanta Wild Kasiaogan. This is yet another modern Ginma coaster. I am intrigued to see how much oomph their LSM launches have. Then the layout has an intriguing mix of elements. There's an inverted top hat, a vertical loop, and 2 corkscrews. Depending how much speed you take these with, there could be a nice mix of positive Gs and hang time. Then the ride also looks to have some shorter hills that could offer negative Gs. Number 7, Tormenta Rampaging Run at Six Flags Over Texas. This is the world's first Giga dive coaster from B&M. That drop should be phenomenal between the theatric hold and extreme floater airtime. Then the following inversions are colossal and should offer crushing positive Gs. I am just worried this ride could track rough in some seats after my experiences with Iron Menace and Wrath of Rakshasa. If it's smooth, it could top Yukon Striker for the best dive coaster. Number 6, the RMC Raptor coming to Family Kingdom. This single rail coaster technically has a custom layout, but essentially is the standard RMC Raptor with an extra bunny hill at the end. But that's fine by me, because this layout is excellent. It is a cartoonishly fast layout with some wicked ejector airtime, particularly in the back, and you also have 3 enjoyable inversions. Number 5, the Intamin Hot Racer coming to Dream Island. This is a clone of Mahuka at Walibi Rhone Alps, which I think is the best single rail coaster. That ride has wonderful pacing. It offers 2 punchy launches, several spots of strong ejector airtime, and 3 excellent inversions, and it has far better restraints than the RMC Raptors, so it is easier to appreciate all the forces. Number 4, Tilt of Thunder at Finn Wonders. This is a Vekoma tilt coaster, specifically a clone of Siren's Curse at Cedar Point. I know the tilt track drop is a gimmick, but I love it. It is so suspenseful, and it offers a great freefall sensation. Then the rest of the layout is a blitz of airtime pops and 2 lateral heavy inversions. Number 3. Tekquani Beast at Bond Luxury Theme Park. This is yet another Vekoma thrill coaster. This one features multiple launches and a long layout with 6 inversions. I suspect the low barrel rolls will offer laterals like the ones in Siren's Curse, but the larger inversion should dabble in the positive G and hang time department. Then this ride should offer a handful of notable airtime moments as well, and the ride looks like it could be dressed up with some nice theming as a bonus. Number 2. The vertical LSM launch coaster coming to Dream Island. I really enjoyed the launch sequence on Storm at the Dubai Hills Mall. The rest of the layout was solid, but it was constrained by the cylindrical building. Russia's version has the same great start, but it follows up with a layout akin to a blitz coaster. There are inversions reminiscent of what you see in Vekoma's modern thrill coasters, plus plenty of hills that will likely offer strong ejector airtime. I cannot wait to see one of these eventually come to the USA. And coming in at number 1 is Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift at Universal Studios Hollywood. This intimate multi-launch coaster reminds me of Helix at Lisa Berge. It is a large coaster along a hill, so the views will be spectacular, and it is filled with inversions and airtime hills. But this ride is extra special because the vehicles spin. It is a controlled spin, but experiencing elements as thrilling while rotating is absolute bliss. Any airtime or hang time is exceptional when experienced sideways or reverse, and that is bound to happen here. Those are my 25 most anticipated roller coasters opening in 2026. What rides are you most looking forward to this year? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Kaobi Coaster. Thanks for watching.